Welcome to the Unapologetic Podcast with Kaitlyn hosted by LadyBoss. This is the space where women rise, own their power, and stop playing small. We get real, we get raw, and we get fired up about confidence, health, business, and life. If you're ready to step into who God made you to be and unapologetically live your best life, then girl, you are in the right place. Let's do this.
This is what unapologetic looks like.
This is my era. I'm walking boldly in my purpose. I'm done dimming my light.
I'm done playing small. God didn't create me to blend in. I'm not for everyone, and that's okay. The old me was surviving. The new me is free.
We rise together.
Here's to living life unapologetically.
Hey ladies, and welcome back to another episode of Unapologetic. Today's story is one that I know so many of you are going to feel so deep in your soul. I'm sitting down with one of your very own lady bosses, someone who truly embodies what it means to show up. Even when life is crazy, busy, and chaotic, you ladies know what I'm talking about. My guest today is Erin Landegent. She's 31-year-old mama in South Dakota, which might be a little cold this time of year. We're going to talk about that. She's also a registered nurse, a woman of faith, and an active lady boss who's learned that taking care of herself isn't selfish, it's a sacred. So we're going to talk about motivation and motherhood and her God-driven goals and what it really looks like to chase her health and her dreams while raising a family. Erin, I am so excited to have you here with me today. I think you are our very first lady boss of season 3 to come on. I'm just so excited to have you.
It's very exciting. Thank you for having me. It's such an honor. I'm so glad to be here talking with you today.
Yes. So, Erin, before we dive in, can you take us back to the beginning before you were ever a lady boss? Like, what? Tell us a little bit about your story and who is Erin?
Yeah. So back before LadyBoss started, I at the time had 2 kids and I was battling with my weight as I have been most of my life. I didn't have much confidence. I didn't feel like I mattered. I didn't feel like I really had a purpose. I was kind of just rolling through life. I was trying all the different fad diets, trying to get, that part of my life down while trying to take care of the 2 kiddos. And it just seemed like nothing was really working out.
That's never a fun cycle, right? I mean,
No.
I know myself and many listeners, we've been in that cycle where it's like trying every fad, depriving ourselves of all the things because we have a goal we want to hit, right? We want to be confident. We want to be able to show up and be energetic and whatnot. And there's so many things out there that are like, we'll help you do it. This is the magic trick. Can I ask, did you ever find a magic trick that worked?
I didn't.
It always blows me away. People still ask me today, they'll reach out and they'll be like, so what'd you take? Like, were you on the shot? Were you on keto? Were you on waiting for like the magic something? And when I give them my book of like, no, like this is a step, it's like crickets.
Yep, exactly. Takes a lot of work, a lot of time, and a lot of self-love.
Self-love is a huge piece of it. Especially because I think that's one thing in your weight loss journey, no matter whether you're just starting out or you're at your goal weight, if you don't work on the self-love aspect of it, you're never satisfied. Or at least that was my feeling. What was your experience with that?
Yeah, I agree completely. I didn't think it mattered to love yourself in this journey. I'm like, well, once I lose the weight, I'll love myself. Once I get to where I want to be, I'll love myself. And then what I really found out, that's not the case. You kind of have to love yourself first. You have to do this because you love yourself.
Yes, I love that. One thing that we talk about a lot at Lady Boss, and it's part of finding the love for yourself again, is locking in your why. And not like your surface level, like, oh, I'm doing it for my kids. They're important, right? But like your deep why, like, why do you really want this? Do you mind if I ask, would you be willing to share what your why was? I know your why maybe has changed since then, but what was your original why? Do you remember?
Yeah, I think I have it nearby too, but I went through a pretty scary health scare before I found LadyBoss, where it was kind of like life and death type of thing. And in that moment, I really wanted to take care of my health so I could be here and not just obviously be here for my kids, but also be here because I deserve to take care of my kids. I deserve to enjoy life and be here. And that was kind of my why of what really helped get me through.
That's beautiful. It's scary when that happens. That's actually how I myself found LadyBosses. It wasn't necessarily life or death, but it was going to be, right? And I was like, mm-mm. My child, 16 years old today. For the record, we're filming this on October 21st. And he just got his license today. And it's like, and when I got that information in 2019, they were basically telling me, like, you might not be here in the next 10 years. Like, and I was like, whew, it wakes you up a little bit, huh?
It does. It really does.
So once you got that news and you knew something had to change and shift, what process did you take? Because you mentioned you had already tried the fads and been through things and all of that. Like, what was the shift?
So it started with, I was still kind of looking. I'm like, okay, what is going to be this big secret? What's going to help me? And, then I happened to see this Facebook ad for the lean. And I'm like, well, I don't know if it's going to work or not, but, it's worth a shot. It looked delicious. I wanted to try it. So I was like, okay. So I bought the lean and I had no idea that this community was going to come with it. I had no idea the impacts that was going to come with it. And I think that was the biggest thing that I found that I have loved, and it's been amazing.
Awesome. So can you tell me about this community, the Lady Boss community? What was it
Yeah.
that was just like, wow, this is, I don't know, did it feel different? What helped you the most from the community in your journey, I guess?
Yeah. Well, I was in other groups on Facebook at the time, and a lot of them were like kind of still mom shaming or body shaming. You're in this group where it's supposed to be positive, but it really wasn't. And so that was the biggest difference with Lady Boss. Like when I was in the group, I felt like I was a part of something. I felt like fully supported. These women were going on the same journey. Some of them, have kids, and so do I. And so I related there, and I was able to talk to these women as we kind of went through this journey together. And that's what made the big difference. They were supportive. They were there for questions. They were there for the hard times. They were there to help lift each other and support each other. That was the best thing.
It's true. It's so important to have that support. You might have heard me say this because I say it all the time. I'm like, my husband's great. My kids are great. My parents, but they're not always your biggest supporters, right? Because they don't have the same goal, or they're not in the same mission, or maybe your husband is fit and in shape and doesn't need a diet, like watch what he eats, but you've got to watch what you eat and you've got to do something because you got to take care of you. And so it's so important to surround yourself with a group that understands, that helps encourage and support. And on the flip side of it all, the fact that there was still groups, I hope they're all gone now, but still groups body shaming.
100%.
That breaks my heart because, like, the world is, for being honest, it's not the most beautifulest place in the world. And it's sad to see, but we as individuals can make that impact, right? We make that difference, make it better. And like, you just always have to be like, really, we're body shaming. Like, don't you want better for the world?
Yep. For yourself, for your daughters. Yeah. We don't need to do that.
No, you don't at all. Can I ask, you have 4 children, boys, girls, mixture?
I have 3 boys, 1 girl.
Very nice. Got your hands full with some rowdy boys.
Absolutely. They keep me on my toes.
That's awesome. Was there ever a moment in your journey once you joined LadyBoss in the community that you felt like giving up?
There was, there's always the hard times where maybe I kind of slide back. I think I fully committed during one of the 30-day challenges, and I gave it my all, and I had such success. And then after that, at the time, this was when I just had the 2 kids. I was going through a fertility struggle, and we so badly wanted to have another baby. And that's also, Lady Boss was helping me through that journey. And I ended up getting pregnant and having a miscarriage at the time. And I was so sad and upset, and I kind of gave up on myself again. I gave up on the group. I gave up on everything. I just felt like it wasn't going to work out, and that was a really hard time.
That is, I can only imagine that had to have been a hard time, especially after trying for so long, and it's never easy. What helped you get out of that when things got tough? Like, what was it? What happened that was like, it's time to get back up and keep going and get back involved?
It was kind of COVID, ironically. So the world was shutting down. I ended up also, one of my closest friendships came to an end. And I was at the point where I'm like, how am I going to get through this moment with all of these hardships right now? And then I remembered, when I was in that group and I was committed to this process and I was loving myself and I had all the support, like that was the best I've ever felt. And I was like, I need to do that again. I need to lean on the women who might also be going through some of the same things. And in a world where everything was shut down and we couldn't go places and see people and be around people, like I was back in the group. I was back talking with the women again and getting support again and feeling a lot better. And honestly, I think that is what helped me get through that moment more than anything else.
That's incredible, especially because COVID for a lot of people was the time that they fell off. They fell off not just in LadyBoss, but just in life and in motivation because the world was shut down. And I'm sure Facebook groups helped with that. I didn't even think about the community being that crucial during that time, but it was. Even then, I find it really inspiring that when everyone else was kind of like, okay, well, I can't go to the gym and I can't do this and I can't do that because the world's shut down. That was your like relaunch. You were like, nope, we're gonna do this. We're gonna get back involved.
I know the timing seems strange, but it's what I needed, and it was perfect. It was perfect.
That's amazing. So I'm sure as you definitely know, you've done the challenges and all of that. Lady Boss has R4, and while it's changed a little bit over the years, it's the same. And it's state, shape, sparkle, and success. I'd love to know out of the 4, what is your favorite pillar?
I definitely say state is my favorite, and I love them all, so it's so hard to choose. But because when I went into Lady Boss, and it was such a like, okay, I'm looking for that fix. I'm looking to find something, and it just surprised me to find that okay, you need to get in this mindset of like loving yourself, healing, and one of the first things we did were meditations in one of the challenges I did, and I remember kind of rolling my eyes. I'm like, meditation, what is that going to do? That's not going to help me lose weight. But, I still meditate all the time. It honestly helps me like every single day, even now. Like, if there's one thing that's good is like I can meditate, I can get back to a positive mindset. Bad things happen. I can kind of like I'm not sad and mad and upset all day long like I used to be. I'm not taking it out on other people like I might have used to. Like, I think I am more able to like be positive and, be more present with my family. So that's been huge.
That's amazing. And it's crazy. Something like meditation can be so powerful because I was the same way. Like I rolled, don't want to do this. This is ridiculous. I don't do yoga because it's too soft for me, or I don't meditate. It's too, but the grace that you have with it, like the grace for yourself and the peace in your mind, especially during the chaos. It's amazing.
And I kind of have a little funny story, if that's okay.
Yes.
So, as I'm preparing for this podcast and, being October 21st and it just launched the new season today, I've actually been saying like a little meditation every single day for the last 30 days. And it was funny because 2 of the sentences in my meditation that I say like every single day are my affirmations was talking about like not playing small and taking your power back. And so when I heard that on the podcast, I'm like, I feel like I'm right where I need to.
Yes. Oh, I love that. Thank you for sharing. I love those things. To me, it's always like, you can call them coincidences. You can call them, it's just ironic. To me, I'm like, no, God has a plan and he's got a purpose and there's a reason things lay out. You listen to the podcast today, so my I see the plan now, Lord story.
Yes.
But like we've got I'm not wearing it today. We have the Bible verse on the LadyBoss website, Psalms 46:5. God is within her; she will not fail. And that verse was one of those moments too, where it was like, okay, we're on the right path. Because I had picked the verse like 4 days before we announced to the world that I bought the business. And I hadn't told the LadyBoss team yet. And one of the LadyBoss team members sent me a ring and it had Psalms 46:5 on it. And I was like, out of the entire Bible, the entire book, all the incredible verses, it's the one verse that I picked to put on our website. And no one knew it yet. Like I hadn't even put it on like in a Google Doc. Like it was nowhere. It was on a sticky note on my desk.
Wow. That's amazing.
It really is. And so I love that, like, the podcast related and that you're listening and you're watching for all of that and just following that path and that purpose.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what is Erin up to these days? You got back involved during COVID. You've done some of the challenges, rocking and rolling. You're active in the community. I see you in there all the time. I love it. What are you up to these days?
Well, after a few moves over the years and then, finally successfully having a couple more children, that was a huge part of my journey. And I was kind of like, okay, I'm happy and satisfied and where I need to be. But, and obviously with each pregnancy, your weight fluctuates. And so that's always a thing too. But I am currently like a registered nurse working at a clinic, and I absolutely love that. I have a good home life, work life balance, which is huge. And I'm getting back into doing some more LadyBoss challenges again. And my last baby was born just about 9 months ago. And so, yeah, it's been good.
That's incredible. That sounds like a very exciting year. And I was going to
Yeah.
ask about nursing with the kids and your journey because that's pretty strenuous. But is at the clinic, like, are they more regular hours?
Yep, the hours are a little bit better, which is nice. It's kind of like 8 to 5 throughout the week, which works out really nice. But, still takes some planning and all that. So I try to, leaning on the LadyBoss Lean, I use that a lot. That helps me for busy mornings and busy days. So I'm good.
So with your faith, as you know, this I'm very loud about. Oh, I say very loud. I'm working on getting louder about my faith and it being part of my story. It is my story, right? How has your faith shaped your health goals? Have you shaped your future, where you're at?
Yeah, absolutely. I've always had like a faith, I would say, and it has definitely gotten way stronger in the last year. And one of the first challenges I did, let's see, in April with, having you now here with us, which has been amazing. I remember you talking about like having your big, scary goals. And I remember writing down one thing that I was like, okay, this is never going to happen. But I wrote down like, I have always felt like I want to use my voice. I want to be a part of things that are bigger than me. I wrote down like, I wanted to be on a podcast. I wanted to like share my story, my life, my faith. And, I've been so much better about praying every day and like really just leaning on that. And so like, I don't know, being here today feels like reassurance, from God of like, keep going, you're on the right track. You're doing it, which is great.
That's incredible. Like your big, scary, hairy goal is to be on a podcast and you're doing it right now. Like, I hope you get off this and like go do like a party dance, a happy dance, like celebrate.
Yes, 100%. 100%. The best.
Oh, I love it. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. So many, myself included, like you said, you're like, okay, why am I going to write down a big, scary, hairy, like if it's not going to be real, right? And I'm like, look, it's real.
I know. Yeah. I know.
Like
It's such a short time.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm like that right there is why you write it down, right? That's why it's like the manifestation and the alignment, mind, body, soul. It's yes. I love that. So, I mean, you're checking this one off now and you're going to go celebrate after. What's going to be your next big scary hairy? Have you like thought about it?
I was just thinking about that just now. I haven't, but I'm like, well, I guess I need some more goals. That happened way faster than I was expecting. But, I can't complain. I'm just so happy and I'm just excited. And I really love like the transition of LadyBoss into this more faith-based, and I love that. And I think it's great. I think it's going to be really good.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know if you've ever felt this, but like when I was growing up, I kind of felt like I was taught like faith and business don't have a place together. They've got to be separate. When I set my big scary hairy and look back and like watched everything fall into place, it's like, no, like it's the story. It is why I am where I am and I'm able to do what I do. And do I need to like shove my biblical beliefs down your throat? No, but I can show you love and compassion and kindness and it's 100% part of my business. That doesn't mean that you're not allowed to be here if that's not your belief though either. But I'm still going to love on you.
Yep, absolutely.
But I can't believe you're big scary. You're going to have to go celebrate and reset and be like, all right, what's next? And you're going to share this with your kids and be, look what mom did.
Yes, exactly. They're going to be so excited because they've heard me talk about it too. They know just as much that this was a huge goal of mine. And I've always been passionate about women's health, and like that's kind of the part of like what I want to do and what I want to keep doing. And so this feels perfect.
That's so amazing. I always love too when we set those big, scary, hairy, and I love that you talk to your kids about it and they've heard you talk about it because I know I've done it in the past. I try not to now because I know better. We know better. Where it's like we tell our kids they can go do anything, they can achieve whatever they want, they can chase their goals, they can be rock stars, whatever. But then us as parents tend to, well, I don't know if I'm qualified. I don't know. And they hear all of that. And so, like, you going after your big, scary, hairy goal and like being on this podcast right now, it's like you're showing your kids, like, no, it's legit. Like, if you want it, go get it.
Exactly. 100%. Well, and I think, we kind of talked and I was like, I don't have this amazing weight loss story. Like that's the part I'm still working on. And that's why but I'm like, I just feel this, like, I still want to talk about my story because it has been so impactful on my life and like getting to be here, like my mindset and my positivity, like it's all been such a big part of my life that I'm like, I want to be able to talk about it, but I'm still working on the one aspect of my weight. And you're like, the weight's not even, like the biggest part.
Not at all. Not even close to the biggest part at all. And I'm so happy you did reach out. You're not the only person that's reached out and said like, hey, I don't have a weight loss story, but I would love to be on. And I hate that. Like that was one of the reasons that like Unapologetic, the previous podcast, and being so connected with Lady Boss, I struggled with because you don't have to have this big 100-pound transformation story, right? Like we as women go through all kinds of struggles every single day. And we are strong, unstoppable, resilient women with voices that are here to share our story, every part of it, not just the weight we lost or we gained or we didn't or this or that. The good, the bad, the ugly, our stories, no matter what they look like, they shaped who we are, formed who we are, building us to be better people. But there's someone, even just one person out there that needs to hear your story, Erin. And they're listening right now and they're like, I'm there right now, but I'm going to get through this. I'm inspired again and I'm going to get back on track. And maybe if Erin, is okay with it at the end, she'll share her social media stuff and you can reach out to her and say hi.
Yes,
Thank you. So
absolutely.
like, that's why you felt the call. Like, that's why it was like your story is impacting so many right here, right now on this episode. We're going to clip it up and you're going to get it all and you're going to send it out to the world. And it's going to impact those that just watch the clip even. And
I
that
hope so. That
calling,
would be
that's why you have the calling. That's why you reached out. Like it's so much bigger than you. Like the you part is definitely exciting. We can't say it's not, right? But
right.
to be able to see like your impact,
Exactly.
it is so amazing. I love watching you in the community and how active you are in supporting the group.
Thank you.
I want you to like I'm gonna throw a jab at myself. If the community can improve in some way, how would that be? Like what can Lady Boss do to continue like to support the group and like improve upon it?
I think just starting kind of, we're incorporating more aspects of our life, not just the weight. I think if we all, or Lady Boss, or I don't know, all commit to kind of like just being more open and vulnerable about everything in our lives with each other on the group, I feel like that's probably one thing I'm active in the group, but I'm not active in like posting posts a lot. But I think if maybe I feel more comfortable to like post things about not just my weight, but maybe, other things going on that affect my health and affect my life. And, then I think that would help. And I think other people would come along with that and post it with the same type of thing. And yeah.
I love that. Yes. I am a big believer that social media tends to just be a highlight reel, which only makes our what I call funk, our hard times, our depression or our anxiety or our stressors, it only makes it worse because we live in a world of comparison, right? Unfortunately. But it's not perfect. We all go through struggles and hard times, and to be raw and real and share that and to letting people know that one, that you're supported, we're here for you, but that others also aren't alone, that's powerful.
Huge. Life changing.
Yes, I love that. Thank you so much for that feedback.
Yeah.
For women, if there is a woman right now who is thinking about on this journey, joining the Lady Boss journey, being a part of this community, but is on the fence, what do you have to tell her?
I would tell her, dive in. Just go for
Do
it.
it.
Bet on yourself. Like it has made such a big difference in my life, and I would want that for any other woman out there. I say that to the people around me too. Like, this has just been so helpful and has made such a big difference that, you can do it for whatever reasons you want to. If you want to do it for your weight, if you want to do it for your health, but do it for the mindset. Do it for your own, you have to fill your own cup before you can fill your kids' cups. And you have to take care of yourself, or you're going to have nothing left to take care of them or anything else. So go for it.
Yeah, just taking care of yourself. Did you ever feel like it was selfish?
Yeah, in the
first?
beginning, yes. When I first started on it, I felt bad buying wean for myself. I felt bad committing to 30 days of this challenge of trying to better myself, because I'm like, well, what about my kids? Or I need to spend time with them, or I need to spend money on them doing things, which I still do. But that's just what I kept feeding myself. Like, I can't spend that on myself. I can't do that. But that's one big thing that I've kind of learned. Like, the more I pour into myself, the more I'm able to pour into them.
I love that. I'm kind of a short fuse, or at least I used to be a short fuse. And I look back and I'm like, my kids didn't deserve that version of me, but it was the burnt out version that wasn't taking care of herself. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm human. I still snap, but I have so much more grace for them and myself and everything else than ever before.
Yep, I agree with that.
Working on that mindset and pouring into you is not selfish. I remember when my now 16-year-old today, he was probably like 2 or 3, and I was the avid, like, I've got to spend money on my kids, right? And I was shopping with my cousin, and I ran right to the kids section. I was like, let's go see what they have for the kids. And she stopped me. And, for the record, at this time, she's got no kids. And she's like, where are you going? I was at the kids section. Go see if I can find something for my son. No. We're here to shop for you, not for them. Like, when was the last time you bought something for you? And I was like, oh, well, I couldn't recall, because it was like that default was like, I couldn't spend money. I couldn't spend time with myself or splurge on me. I had to splurge on my kids.
Exactly.
And it was, and that, there was definitely that judgment of like, you don't even know you don't have kids. But then there was also that realization that, like, oh, she's right. Like, when was the last time? And like, I'm going to like the shoe section. And at the time, the child probably had like 30 pairs of shoes, because like, I love shoes.
Yes.
And I was like, yeah, you're right. It's not like he definitely doesn't need more shoes, but I could use a pair of shoes.
Exactly.
It's not selfish. Now, if you're ready to like dive in, you're ready to go into the community, do a 30-day challenge, get some lean, whatever it might be. Did you ever have the thought or the fear of, what if I fail? Or what if I fail again? You mentioned doing the other diets before.
Yeah. Yep. Was in my mind, why even start something? Why put money into something if I'm just going to fail? And that kind of held me back for such a long time. And then I finally, I don't know, I think this was more in the last couple of years. I just had this like realization, like, I'm not failing. My journey is still going. I still use LadyBoss Lane, but that's not failing. I didn't fail. I'm still going. A journey is like nonstop. And so I'm trying to urge to other people to, like, you're not failing right now. And even if things aren't what you thought they were going to be, or working out the way you thought that they were, it's going to be okay. And it might look different, but you're not failing. It's going to be okay.
I love that. It might look different. Like, yeah, we can only plan and predict so much in those hard times. They're shaping our story and who we are. They're making us resilient.
Absolutely.
It's so incredible. So you're going to go celebrate your big, scary, hairy check off by doing what after, Erin?
Go do a happy dance and figure out what's next.
Yes. As we start to wrap things up, is there, for the woman listening who may or may not be in the LadyBoss community, who's just on the fence or just even starting off on the journey, do you have a piece of advice you'd like to leave them, something you want them to hear?
I'd say it's okay to prioritize yourself and not worry about what others think, because I think that's what else held me back, was like, well, I might know some of these people on Facebook, and what are they going to think about me for doing this? Or are they going to think I'm silly? Are they going to think I'm fat? Are they going to think I'm, whatever? And then I'm like, you know what? Who cares? I'm working on myself. I'm doing what I want to do for myself to make myself happy, for me and my family, and the rest of it doesn't matter. So that's what I have to say to everyone else is just focus on what you want and what you need for you and your family, not what other people think.
So beautiful. Yes, yes, yes. This is exactly why community matters. It's a community that's all like-minded and on the same mission. Because sometimes that exterior judgment is hard and we struggle with strength ourselves. I call it, negative Nancy and positive Betty. Negative Nancy can get loud. And the women in the community truly remind us that, like, you're incredible. You're beautiful. I'm incredible. We can do the hard things.
Yes, absolutely.
So, Erin, how are you? The name of the podcast is Unapologetic. So how are you showing up and living unapologetically today?
By showing up and being here today, and by continuing to use my voice and continue to, do this.
Erin, thank you so much for sharing and telling us your story and focusing on mindset and being open about, like, hey, I don't have a weight loss story, but I've got a story to tell. I hope everyone listening hears that, like, oh, I've got a story. Like, then they're starting to connect to it and they know and they feel it and they're like, this is who I am. You truly took a massive step. I mean, you just completed your big, scary, God-sized goal. Like, oh,
Yes.
So thank you for showing everyone that you just have to take the next step and trust that God's going to guide us and meet us there.
Absolutely. Yes. And thank you for letting me be a part of this and letting me talk with you today. It's such an honor.
Of course. I'm so privileged that you joined and came on and shared your story. Ladies, you don't have to have a Lady Boss Lean or any of the supplements to be a part of the Lady Boss community. The only stipulation is you do have to be a lady. That is the requirement. It is a woman's only group. But if you've been on the fence or just not sure where to start, go join the Lady Boss community. Go surround yourself with a group of women that will pour so much into you every single day. If this episode inspired you and, like, share it with a friend, share it with a mom, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Tell someone about the Lady Boss community who might be struggling, that needs some support. We are here to help. You can connect with Erin inside the Lady Boss community or myself. But Erin, do you know your social media handles by chance? Is it just Erin?
Yeah, Erin Landegent.
So
I think on Instagram and on Facebook. So, yep, you guys can reach out to me, and I'm here. If you want support or need someone to talk to, I'm always here. So,
thank you. And we will drop her social media handles in the show notes so you can make it easy. Go find Erin, go track her down, DM her, and let her know what you think about this episode. If her story impacted you at all, continue helping her chase her God-sized, big, scary, hairy goals. I know she'd appreciate it. And I would love to hear the stories, Erin, as people reach out and just be like, thanks. Thanks for being vulnerable and raw and sharing that.
yeah. Thank you.
Well, ladies, thank you so much for joining us for another incredible episode of Unapologetic. Remember that you are strong, you are resilient, you are so capable, unstoppable, and live life unapologetically. Until next time, bye.
I'm showing up as the woman I was created to be. I don't have to be perfect. I just have to be real. One woman's courage gives another permission. I'm done waiting for someday. My time is now. I'm walking in faith, not fear. God's plan for me is bigger than my fear. No more hiding who I am. This is the real me, and I'm not apologizing for her.
Thank you for tuning in to the Unapologetic Podcast. If today's episode fired you up, hit that subscribe button so you never miss a new one. And hey, leave a quick review, or sharing this with a friend helps us reach more women who need this message. Until next time, keep rising, keep shining, and keep living unapologetically.